you in a corner office right
Yeah,
there.
bro.
Holla at your
What up?
boy, bro.
All right, bro. I'm getting ready to start.
Yo, you already know if you hear the phone go off, it's just the nature of the beast, bro.
Nah. I like the phone going off, bro. Remember?
Yeah, man, I had to shave the grizzly bear beard, bro. Like it
Yeah,
had
and we're live too. I didn't even know we were live, bro. But it's all good. Hold on. I just trying to link up the Facebook so we can start. But we technically already started. Peace, and I'd like to welcome you all back to another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your foul player. I'm joined by my co-host S. Mart Johnson the third, cooking up that sports medicine. And before we even started this show, we probably talked a good 15 minutes, if not more. We could have cooked on about a round robin of different sports because my co-host happens to be the king of sports media on the low.
nah,
He's the dark king.
nah, man.
So but with that, I want to introduce my man's S Smart. S Smart, like let the people know what it is and where we could
It's,
find you.
you already know where you can find me. Stephen Martinez on Facebook, Stephen Martinez 300 on Instagram, and Stephen 3CM on Twitter. So you can find me there. More followers, the merrier. We're gonna get into a lot of things today. So buckle up. I'm already a little irritated. Uh, got up about 7:30 this morning. Phone's blowing up with emails. So I'm in an ornery mood right now. Very ornery. I woke up very early. So this is very, very, very. It's gonna be a good show. If you like
Cranky.
people with, if you like people with the red ass, that's what you call a red ass. The red ass is the cranky. I don't really want to like piss anybody off, but I really don't give a damn. If you like red ass, this show's for you.
Yeah, and in honor of the red ass situation, I'm wearing a red shirt for my man's pause. And also also I've and I want to cover like the some of the general topics, even though we may veer
Right,
off into different directions as well. But
right.
general like the general topics that I wanted to discuss is whether the Jets should move up to trade for a new quarterback. We also wanted to talk about DeAndre Baker and a little bit more Giants talk, if we will, like get to some time about with it. I also wanted to discuss last night's game and the general standings of the Mets and the Yankees. Um, but let's start cooking, and also do a little bit of a roundabout with the MLB, being that I have the guy who gets all the scoops for the MLB in the house.
I do not. I
Um,
do not. I've missed a few, buddy, but I
Nah,
appreciate
but
the
he's
love.
actually giving me a lot of info that I'm not gonna put out there. Like, and this is why sometimes this show takes a little bit of time to start because I could talk to Stefan for 2 months, and he's just giving me the good info, like
Yeah,
back to back to back to back to back. So let me
appreciate
get
it, brother.
started with it, bro. Um, I wanted to talk about the quickest subject, but as
Mhm.
far as the Jets go, there's a lot of people saying that the Jets should move up to trade for the Clemson quarterback,
Trevor
maybe
Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
Nah,
The
they.
But and a lot of people are speculating this because one, Joe Douglas is now swimming in good draft picks, but two, because Trevor Sam Darnold wasn't a Joe Douglas pick. So I wanted to talk about it. I mean, and I haven't told my man Stefan just to give this show a little bit more spice. But we actually have a difference of opinions as far as this goes. But I'll let Stefan cook on this subject. First of all, what do you think of Trevor Lawrence as a quarterback?
I think he's all right. I,
Oh,
I don't. I mean, I think he's all right. I think you know the Bo Sweeney put him in the best position. Dabo Sweeney, I'm sorry. Dabo put him in a good position. Um, so when you look at it from that standpoint, Dabo Sweeney gave him the best chance to win. They always had a good running game at Clemson. Their defense was always, top notch. So that makes his job easier, strictly from the standpoint that he didn't really have to win the game. He just didn't have to lose it. And I look at it from Clemson had weapons all over the place. We understand that. I wasn't going to I'm not gonna sit there and deny that. They had weapons all over the place. They have, a good system in play. Their quarterbacks coach is Steve Spurrier. Steve Spurrier was a great head college football coach for University of Georgia. You know what I mean? He's been around, so they know how to make a quarterback. However, in all fairness, Trevor Lawrence, I look at him, he's a decent quarterback. At the NFL level, he's probably going to be Joe Flacco. Probably Joe Flacco. That's what I see for him. Maybe a little bit more. If I'm being nice, I'd probably say he's a mixture of Joe Flacco and maybe, I don't know if I'm reaching with this one, but maybe Andrew Luck. But that's as far as I see him going. I don't see this perennial Super Bowl winning quarterback that a lot of people have talked about. And look, to be fair, Bill Belichick, there's something Machiavellian going on with Bill Belichick, where he wants to draft Trevor Lawrence from everybody that, everything you hear and everything you read, which is why I only think it's gonna be a 1-year stay with Cam Newton in New England. I don't think that I don't think he wants Cam long term. Now, there's been rumors that Aaron Rodgers could be the next quarterback of the New England Patriots, which I believe if Green Bay trades him, Bill Belichick is ready to take him. But Trevor Lawrence to the Jets, here's why I have a problem. You ready for this? The head coach can't develop a quarterback to save his life. Don't give me Jay Cutler. Don't give me none of that. Don't give me Peyton Manning because he held
Peyton
the
Manning,
clipboard.
bro. He developed Peyton Manning in the season he had him, bro.
You stop it. You stop that now.
He made him.
He held a clipboard for 6 months. Did nothing but bring Peyton Manning his coffee. You better stop that now. Don't you dare. If anybody that uses that as the Jets called them. Oh, the Jets called them, really? So he called the Jets and he said, oh, you should take Adam Gase. A guy that spurned you twice. Didn't even want to step foot in your building because he saw how toxic you was. You take his call and you hire his recommendation? Why? Why? Because he's Peyton Manning? He want nothing to do with you. That just shows how dysfunctional you are. You're taking a call for somebody that don't want to do nothing with you. The Jets had leprosy. Peyton Manning was like, I'm out. I'm out. I don't want this infectious disease, better known as the New York Jets. And I don't blame him.
No, so what about this, though? What, per se, if Darnold isn't Joe Douglas's guy, why not, and Gase, I don't think is Joe Douglas's guy either, bro. I don't think Joe Douglas is about to start raining endorsements upon Sam Darnold, if you will. So why not, if it seems like to me that the Jets in Joe Douglas's eyes aren't ready to compete next year or in the years to come, why not kick that can down the road with a quarterback as well, as far as trying to build with the pieces in the future? If it's not too cost restrictive with the draft as far as draft chips go.
See, but here's the thing, Joe, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you. It's good to have a surplus of picks. I ain't mad at that. Have your surplus of picks. Do what you do. That's fine. Here's the problem. The problem is they're not gonna develop a quarterback. Their problem is it's not like they have track records to develop a quarterback. They haven't developed a quarterback yet, Joe. And any of the listeners could correct me if I'm wrong. In the last 5 drafts that the Jets taking a quarterback, the quarterback was either cut, traded, or flat out he sat on the bench. Look at what they did to Geno. Look at what they did to Pennington in the beginning. They ruined quarterbacks. So you're gonna tell me that you're gonna trade up for Trevor Lawrence when, not for nothing, Sam Darnold, is he the guy? I don't know. Nobody knows. But that's because he hasn't been given a fair shake to show you what he can do. He came in under Todd Bowles. Joe, you're the football guy, Joe. Help me. If I'm tripping, tell me, please. He came in under Todd Bowles. You already know Todd Bowles' job was on the line. They were telling you that from Jump Street. We're going to fire Todd Bowles. So you already knew you were moving on from Todd Bowles. Am I correct?
Yep.
First point of order.
But I mean, yo, if they already knew that Todd Bowles was gonna go, I think that there's a similar, if not worse, stench around around Gase. Gase ain't gonna be the quarterback after this. I mean, the coach after this year.
I agree with you, but here's the problem: you let Mike McCagnon make the pick. You let Mike McCagnon make your pick.
But the Jets are stupid.
You're making my argument for me. You're making my argument for me. Why would you look? Sam Darnold's not your guy. Fair point. I get it. I get where you're going. However, here's the problem: Sam Darnold's not your guy. If you're not going to be here in a year, Trevor Lawrence is not going to be the next guy's guy either. So what difference does it make?
Yeah, where our opinions differ is that I actually think that Lawrence is the truth. I think he was young when he came out of the gate, and he performed exceptionally well. I thought he got a little bit better last year, but there were other good quarterbacks in college last year too.
But that's what I'm saying, though. If you already knew there was better quarterbacks in college football, you had Tua, you had the kid that's in Green Bay, the kid Love, that kid's gonna be a star. I'll tell you that right now.
Maybe, bro. He gets a little too stare happy though, bro. I think he got potential, but there's stuff about his game I didn't like, and he played in a weak ass conference too.
I'll give you that. Well, I'll give you that. But I look at Trevor Lawrence and I'm like, he ain't
gonna be no Trevor Lawrence.
We don't know that.
Yeah. No, but before we move on, I want to give my synopsis. I think that if it was because the another thing too that I didn't mention is the fact that Sam Darnold's contract is gonna be coming up soon. And I don't want to pay Sam Darnold a lot of money because he had these 2 throwaway years as is. He's has a little bit of an injury history, missed 3 games in his first year. He had the mono last year, which you can't blame him for, but he's kissing nasty bitches probably. But you know, in the hopes of being able to contend down the line like the Jets want to do, why pay a quarterback now when you get a really good quarterback if it's not too restrictive on your draft picks? If you could, like, let's say trade Sam Darnold and a later first round pick that they do have from the Seahawks and maybe something else, I'd be down for it, bro. I'd do it. I mean, I like to kick cans down the road with shitty teams, and the Jets are the epitome of a shitty team. And I think, in spite of how dumb I think Dave Gettleman is across the river with the Giants, I think they have set themselves up in a little bit better position than the Jets because of the fact that their quarterback just started last year rather than 2 years ago or 3 years ago like Sam Darnold. But this is more of an endorsement on Trevor Lawrence rather than, like, you know, me trying to be cute with maneuvering and whatnot. I only say it to do the move in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
Here's my problem. And all your points are valid to a degree. But who are we talking about here? We're talking about the New York Jets. Exactly. And I just made the point of, if Adam Gase isn't going to be here next year, if you're going to keep making changes at the head coaching position, and which ultimately leads to more changes in the front office, then why in God's name would you draft a quarterback that high, use draft capital that you worked hard to earn, to take a quarterback and ruin him when you don't know if the quarterback is going to be here in the short term, in the long term anyway? This is what I'm saying. Sam Darnold hasn't even had a chance to develop as a quarterback. He hasn't had a chance. Who sat there and said, Sam, let's develop let's develop him. Let's work with him. Let's put him in position where we get him some wide receivers. And I'm not talking about Le'Veon Bell at 29 years old. No, I'm talking about legitimate wide receiver options like CeeDee Lamb, who they should have taken in this year's draft, but they let him go to Dallas and they screwed that one up. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two, I get your Trevor Lawrence point. I get the hype. That's not my argument. My argument is look at where they're putting him, what franchise they're putting him with. If you put Trevor Lawrence with, let's say, Indianapolis, if Indianapolis is bad, he's going to succeed in Indianapolis because they have a history of developing quarterbacks. They know what they're doing down there. Their football personnel is solid. You put them, all right, let's say, for instance, let's argue another point. Do you put him with Juan Rivera in Washington?
Hell no, bro. That's worse than the Jets. I mean, hold on. If that was his guy, and it would be a situation where you could move Haskins for something, which I don't think they could right now, even though I think Haskins is not a bad quarterback.
Cut him.
Huh? No, I think Haskins is not bad, bro.
Haskins is a bum.
No way, bro. Haskins is not bad, bro.
That kid Hoskins is a bum.
You wildin', bro.
I'm not usually the one to make that statement because I'm very journalistic with mine, but that dude is no. I'm out.
He's not bad, bro. But remember, Haskins is a 1-year guy though. But with Darnold, you may be able to get something from Darnold, bro. Or for Darnold. In the first round, maybe.
What do you get? What do you get?
If you could bag a first round pick of a bum team, maybe it won't be a high first round pick, maybe a future even, just enough collateral to move up to get Lawrence. I would do it. And the thing is too, I listen to other YouTube shows religiously. I listen to other Giant shows too, and a lot of them are against this. And I'm going against the grain in saying this too. I mean, it's not. I'm not one. I think Darnold's okay. I think the fact that the Jets are investing into a quarterback finally is good. It's good that they build are more patient with Darnold than they have been with quarterbacks in the past. But I think 2 of Darnold's years already were under a really shitty line.
That's not his fault. That's not his fault.
But the thing is that you're going to be investing into that product in 3 or 4 years.
Hold on, Joe. Wait a minute. And I usually don't do this. This is your show, so I got
a question for you too after this, and we'll move on from there.
I'm good. We can stay on this topic as long as you like. But here's my question. So you're telling me Sam Darnold had 2 bad years? Cool. You're right. That's not an arguable point. The head coach changed twice. The front office changed why the GM got switched, right? He had mono last year, which granted, you can call that what you want. But the kid you haven't given him time to develop. I'm not going to sit.
But peep game though. One of the bad years, the first year, he was out with a foot injury for 3 years. I mean, is that an indication of being brittle? I can't say.
No.
But the thing is that he's sustaining these injuries.
All right, so you can say the same thing for Daniel Jones, who sustained an ankle injury and missed 3 games at the end of the year last year. He did.
No, it just scares me with quarterbacks behind bad lines is that they take these injuries and then they're never the same. But I have the one question for you, and this is you. This is you, the GM of GMs. If you were running the Jets, and the question came to you in 1 year, whether you're going to pay Sam Darnold $35 million plus, are you going to do it?
He got to prove himself. No, he got to prove himself.
All right, all right. Let me ask you something, bro. What do you think is Sam Darnold's ceiling? Who do you think is Sam Darnold's ceiling? Better yet,
probably Matt Ryan.
Who? Okay, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
If he played Matt Ryan level next year,
Matt Ryan is a solid quarterback. Let's not
Matt
act
Ryan's a
like Matt
good
Ryan
quarterback.
was scrub.
Nah, Matt Ryan's a good quarterback. If he played Matt Ryan level next year, nah, I don't think he'd play Matt Ryan. I don't think. Basically, with
He ain't got enough weapons to be Matt Ryan. You gotta understand, Matt Ryan. He walked in the league, bro. He walked in the league with Julio Jones and Roddy White.
But
That's what he
all right,
walked in the league with.
The straight up question, bro, would you, Steph Martinez, bro, Mr. GM himself, pay Sam Darnold under any circumstances max money damn near next year?
Next year, no.
The year after. It's very hard for me to say that, bro. That's why I, you know, if I want to pay a guy like that max money, a quarterback, I gotta be like, yo, this is my guy, bro. You know.
Okay, but here's the thing. I also gotta look at roster construction too. It's not just a quarterback.
They're ass cheeks. But that won't get better.
But I'm saying they're horrible, but that's not his fault that the roster isn't built to suit him as a quarterback. Your job as a football team, any smart football team, would say, all right, let's put weapons around this boy to see what he got as a quarterback. I just use Matt Ryan as the analogy, right? Matt Ryan, he started with Julio Jones. He started with Roddy White. They gave him Tony Gonzalez. He had weapons all over the goddamn place. Okay?
And
he had weapons everywhere.
Receiving running backs. Too. Receiving running backs and good running backs.
What does Sam Darnold have close to that right now?
Couldn't see a new one.
See my point?
Nah, let's move on. Let's move on, bro. I think you could have not said it any better, like, you know. But we'll see how this thing plays out too, man. Because I think that chat will probably increase as the draft date moves closer. Whenever the fuck the draft date is.
Who knows? Because who knows?
But let's talk about the subject that's the nearest and dearest to my heart, and that is the team that breaks me the most, Los New York Mets.
So the New York Mets.
Actually, could you cook on before anything? Could you cook on last night's game, or you want me to cook on it?
Where do we start with the New York Mets? Go ahead, Joe. What do you think?
Yeah, let me just I'll do a real general breakdown. But yeah, the Mets yesterday, Porcello started shitty out of the gate. He kind of held it together a little bit afterwards. I think they pulled him in the fourth or the fifth. Basically, the gist of it is that Porcello pitched substandard, and the Mets were able to have a decent explosion on offense. Cano contributed a lot in that department. Were able to score 10 runs, even though they didn't have the lead from the start. They were able to acquire the lead and gain 10 runs, only to have the bullpen in Dylan Betances, Stefan's boy, Mr. Dependable, and Seth Lugo to give up a chunk of runs in the latter portion of the game. The bullpen, I think, sucks, but I want to see what Steph says about last night's game and the state of the Mets. So go ahead, Steph. Cook.
See, I'm gonna go in reverse because you just did last night's game, right? I'm gonna go in reverse. I'm gonna tell you about the state of the Mets first. You know what's your problem? Your problem is not the bullpen. Your problem is your offense. And what do you mean? They scored 10 runs. Yes, they scored 10 runs, right? But let's be honest about something here. The game before that, they scored 4 runs. The game before that, they scored 3 runs. You can't tell me when Jacob deGrom's pitching, you score 3 runs and expect to win the game. That guy, he had a human moment. Let me just, for stats purposes, the guy before his last start, Jacob deGrom, had 31 straight scoreless innings, okay? 31 straight scoreless innings. 31 straight. That means, let's do the math. That means, that's the equivalent of like 7 starts. You made to give up a run in 7 starts. So the moment he has a breakdown and he's human, the bats can't score runs for the dude. Your problem is your offense. We could say the bullpen was terrible last night. Fine. I get it. I'll give you that. I'll concede that. But let me make one thing abundantly clear. It's not like Yoenis Cespedes has been lighting up the world. Pete Alonso's been the best hitter on your team has been 38-year-old Robinson Cano. Robinson Cano's been the best player on the team.
It's true.
And when you make that statement, you know you got problems. You know, damn, if Robinson Cano is the best player on my team, we got some work to do, fellas. And I don't want to hear about, oh, well, we're injured and we have this injury and that injury and this. Look, okay? Look. It's 60 games. Every game is crucial. Should you have lost that game last night? Absolutely not. Do you want to say it's the bullpen's fault? That's fair. And let me just say this for point of order, too. Luis Rojas doesn't trust Dellin Betances yet. The only reason why Dellin Betances was in that game is because he had to put him in the game. He didn't want to. He had to. That's the difference. He doesn't trust Dellin yet. Because you know what? Dellin doesn't trust himself yet. I've watched Dellin for 7 years. I know when Dellin's on, you know, is get the ball, go. Knee buckling curveballs and fastballs up the wazoo at about 98. You don't got 98 yet. He's coming off a torn Achilles and some shoulder issues. So I don't think Dellin trusts himself yet. Here's the other thing. When did Seth Lugo become this fireman expert? Let's get out of jams. It's all on me closer. I know he did it for a bit last year, but when did he become Mariano Rivera? I mean, really? I mean, come on. And to be absolutely 100% accurate with my assessment of the New York Mets, this is no way blaming Luis Rojas for any of this. You know whose fault this is? You know whose fault this is, right, Joe?
Brody?
Brody, I'm a bum Van Wagner.
Yeah. No, it's honestly, bro, I'm not gonna put it all on the bullpen. But
you can't.
I do blame Brody in the sense that, like, the Mets, as always, they don't go bargain shopping necessarily, but the Mets are the team that'll get you that pair of uptowns and wants to go to the club with the uptowns, wants to go to the wedding with his Nike Air Force Ones on. You know, you can't
you gotta have variety. You gotta have variety.
You gotta have, and variety costs money. You know, they didn't go bargain shopping in the bullpen department necessarily, but they got one piece. Bullpens, they come and go. I mean, like, one piece aren't gonna carry a bullpen.
Can't make or break your bullpen. If Dellin was the only piece that you said, oh, this is gonna complete our bullpen, you're wrong. You needed to have, look, honestly, Justin Wilson should be pitching in higher leverage spots. If it's me, Justin Wilson's the closer.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
This seems crazy, but Edwin Diaz needs to pitch in the 5th or 6th inning and get something needs to happen with that. It's either you need to scale him back and take him out of these pressure-packed situations where he can work on his mechanics and work on whatever's bugging him, or you need to think about trading him for less value than what you got him for and hope that he finds it somewhere else. And I got news for you. There's teams right now in the middle of a pandemic that would take Edwin Diaz and fix him and turn him into a stud again. I believe that. The kid's stuff is way too good to tell me he's not this good. You know that, Joe. That's 99 easily, bro.
What a good slider.
Change up. I'm good with it. We'll fix this kid. And yeah. I think pitching in New York is not easy for some people. We saw it with Sonny Gray with the Yankees for 2 years. Sonny Gray in Oakland was a machine. Sonny Gray in Cincinnati, once again, a machine. When you try to tinker with people, you try to change people, and you try to make people do what they're not comfortable doing, this is what happens. And honestly, you said it from the jump in terms of you can't go bargain shopping. Here's my point. Zach Britton was a free agent. I think it was last year when you guys traded for Diaz, or the year before that. You could have gotten Zach Britton for money, just money,
Yeah,
and you didn't have to give up no capital. You didn't have to give up anything like that, and you could have got it done very easily. Because Zach Britton, I think he would have taken the money from the Mets and he would have came. Now,
absolutely.
granted, here's the thing: the Yankees came, and the Yankees are like, "Listen, we know you're not going to close because we got Chapman. We know that, and he knew that." But Zach Britton said, "But they give it the best chance to win the chip." If the Mets had came and told him, "Listen, you're going to close. We're going to put it. We're going to make you the guy that closes games, and we're going to build a bullpen around you,
And give you
where
the
we
bag.
and we're going to give you the money, but we're going to put relievers in here that complement what you do." And I don't mean to go off on a Yankee point here, but I think this needs to be pointed out. The Yankees have four closers in their bullpen. Four. And I'll count them for you. Zach Britton, Aroldis Chapman. I think Adam Ottavino can close. And I think Chad Green can close. That's four guys that can close games with no problem. And when you have the versatility to tell Zach Britton, yo, come in the sixth. We need you to get this guy out. Lefty on lefty, sink piece. Let's go home. That's dangerous. You can tell Adam Ottavino, yo, come in the fifth. We got this righty. We need you to get him. Bugs Bunny frisbee slider piece, and we're out of here. Versatility is the spice of life. Variety is the spice of life. The Mets have no variety. It's all mid 90s fastballs, solid changeup repertoire guys that all kind of do the same thing. There's nothing in the Mets bullpen that differentiates one from the other.
Besides
Where,
Wilson.
yeah, and that's because Wilson's a lefty. That's another thing. Look at the Mets bullpen. It's all righty besides Justin Wilson.
Yeah.
He's the one outlier.
That's why
Where
he
if you
can't
look at
close.
the Yankee bullpen, look at the Yankee bullpen. Chapman, lefty. Britt, lefty. Ottavino, righty. Canley's a big loss for the Yankees, though. Tommy Canley going under the knife for Tommy John is a huge loss for the Yankees. I don't have anything more on that right now, but I do know that that's a gigantic loss for the Yankees. And this is the one thing that I will say, and this is the unfortunate thing, is that Tommy Canley was going to have a year. He pitched the other day, and it was like, oh, this is Tommy Canley from like 2017. And you just wish that he was able to stay healthy. But that's how insane the Yankees' depth is, though. You go from, you know, losing Tommy Canley to, nah, we'll be all right. Chapman's coming back.
Yeah.
We'll just slide everybody back in inning. Listen, I know it makes you sick to your stomach as a Met fan because you wish you had what they have, and I agree. And to some instances, it sickens me too because this team is way too talented to be this bad. And I gotta tell you, that's a season-defining loss for them last night. And you're like, what do you mean? We're like 5-6 games into the season. Remember, folks, it's 60 games. 60 games goes like this. And once it
10%.
starts to spiral and you can't fix it, and it feels like it's going like this, and there's no way to stop the wheel from or the ball from rolling down the mountain, that's not good. That's not good.
Word up.
And this
Now,
is
and
where
going back to the bullpen variety too for the Yankees. If you think about Britain, you know, like you said, crazy slider guy, works low in the zone. Then
sink
you have
piece is
the
just disgusting.
then you have the
Right.
closer, lefty, works high in the zone. Attack even though he's lefty, loves throwing a high fastball inside to the lefty, like throwing a high fastball to
Right.
the righty. Works
Yeah.
quick. Britain
Right.
will slow you down a little bit. Like, you know, they have
Right.
that variety. It just seems like a different look every time. The Mets do have like a consistent mid-90
It's the same. It's the
assortment.
same look. It's the same look, bro. Like, look at this. You just mentioned something, right? You just said Zach Britton gives you a different look. You got sliders and sinkers all over the place, right? He's coming in at you from your shins lower. What Chapman do? He changes your eye level. You're getting 102 either from the chest on up. And this is where it changes. Chad Green, somewhere in the middle. Chad Green likes to work from your neck to your belly button. That's his thing. And it's fastballs. But now he's incorporating a changeup slash like it's a changeup slider hybrid so that people can get off his fastball. But I guess my point is I look at the Mets and the most frustrating part about all of this is you can all this is fixable. It's not like it's not fixable. And I don't necessarily think it's management's problem, like the manager's problem per se on the field. I just think the front office and ownership didn't put enough stock into. Listen, we're putting way too much stock into a healthy Dylan Betances, who basically pitched once all year last year, once. And when you put that much stock into one guy, that you already know you're gonna have a problem because, like you said, one guy doesn't solve all of your issues. Now he should help some of your issues. The thing that I'm kind of baffled by is you always need there's a saying in baseball, John. I don't know if you know this, but you need like 10 starters, at least 10 starters that can come in and start for you on any given day and give you a serviceable outing. Stroh's out, Syndergaard's out. I like Michael Walker. I always been a Michael Walker fan, even when he was in St. Louis. I see something in his stuff that allows me to believe that the guy's gonna pitch very, very well here because he's on his last legs per se. Because the stuff can only carry you, but so far you have to put together. Where Porcello's an interesting case because Porcello's had an up and down track record. Where I think if you can unlock something with Michael Walker, you can get something good on the return. Now you're the Met fan here, so what do you think about all of that?
I mean, as far as the starting rotation goes, um, I wasn't cool with the fact that they let Wheeler go. In spite of his injury history, Wheeler has great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we had one more extra starting pitcher, this is a weird year. I thought they could have added another starting pitcher just for the sake of having that extra arm. You never know what happens. And the Mets historically always have pitchers drop, and wasn't no difference this year. I mean, we lost our second best guy in Stroh.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're piecing it together. I mean, like I like what I saw from David Peterson, the rookie.
In Boston, he was good. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah,
He was good.
but that was against Boston too, and Boston looks like a high school team, even though they beat the Mets twice. But
Right.
the Mets are clinging to strings right now, bro. Like I mean, and hopefully this loss yesterday smacks them in the mouth and makes them shift things up a little bit. I don't like Luis
Listen,
Rojas calls at times though. I ain't gonna front. Like I think sometimes
what
he
the
should put Guilherme as a pinch runner, which he hasn't done many times. But that's small
Mhm.
stuff. That's small shit. But
Mhm.
the Mets, if this is a state of the Mets address, I think we're looking like
I gotta be honest with you though. Robinson Cano wouldn't get off the bench. You know why? And I know Robinson Cano's been a good hitter. I'm not knocking his offensive production. Do you see what type of issues he creates for your defense? Are you are you kidding me? Are you telling me? Are you telling me that you really want Jeff McNeil playing left field and JD playing third? No, I'm out. Jeff McNeil should be playing second base every day. JD should be at third every day. Robinson Cano needs to be in an old folks' home in a rocking chair and get him out of here. Defensively, the Mets are a disaster. And that's what loses you games, too. It's not just the pitching and the offense. Defensively, if you're not aligned properly and you don't got guys in proper position and guys are playing out of position and guys don't feel comfortable playing in the positions they're in, it doesn't matter what offensive production you get. Defense and pitching wins championships. You know that. You
word up.
know that. It's
Yeah,
just they frustrate me, man. And I'm not even a Met fan, but for God's sake, like, come on.
yeah, the team I love and hate, bro. I mean, I've been suffering with this for
How old are you
32
now?
years, bro. 32 years of Mets mediocrity to shittiness. So I
But you
mean,
love them though. Those are your boys. You love them though. They ain't going nowhere.
the
Look at them.
yeah, I'm actually adding to my Mets tattoo, bro. I gotta get the other side. Hold on, the other
Look
side.
at them. Look.
Nah, but
So you just added more pain and misery to the. Oh,
I love this team, bro. I like,
you're a saint.
but yeah, but let's move on to the industrialist, the capitalist venture of the New York City, the long prudential franchise, success in a can, bro. The
Right.
Yankees, the best team in the league this year, bar none, bro. Like the Dodgers are nowhere near the Yankees level. I wa-
I
the
can't let you
Dodgers
do
are
that.
the Dodgers ain't touching the Yankees, bro.
I look.
The Dodgers are better situated this year with the DH than last year without a DH. They're not touching the Yankees,
Right.
bro.
All
The
right.
Dodgers had the best DH option in the National League. They ain't touching the Yankees, bro. Like like if it came down to it, bro, you're seeing Cole first time out in the playoffs. Imagine, and
Mhm.
everybody else the Yankees got to throw at you, in addition to the
And then
bullpen, in addition to the lineup.
if Moss is right, we're gonna see Masahiro Tanaka throw today. If he's right, you get Paxton straightened out a little bit more, and that's not to say we won't see a Clark Schmidt or a Michael King or you know what I mean. Like that's not to say that we
Montgomery
won't
too.
see him.
Montgomery was beast yesterday, bro.
Montgomery was an animal yesterday. He looked good. He looked good, which is
That kid
why
was
I said
college
this.
too, bro. Like yo, I ain't know he was like that. You were the one that
Which
told me
is
about Montgomery.
which is why I said to you I'd let James Paxton walk simply
Hells yeah,
because
bro. Without a doubt.
Jordan Mon- Jordan Montgomery stuff right now is playing up. So if you know you got that just chilling and you ain't got to pay him no money yet, and you got Paxton who got all these injury concerns, and granted he's gonna pitch tomorrow, and I want to see what he looks like second start out, but
Yo,
look,
not for
this
nothing,
is
real quick, and it's just one game, but Montgomery a little bit reminded me, not the stuff, like just the way he works in Cole a little bit, believe it or not. Like the fact that he's
his
working
tempo.
high with the fastball, huh?
You mean his tempo and his rhythm
No, and
and
the
how
fact that
he
he was
works?
working up with the fastball and not like afraid to throw the high fastball, like Cole, like is high
Yeah,
fastball is a
but
strikeout.
that's because Cole's rubbing off on these young kids, bro. They're like, yo, I do this, do that, do this, do. You know what I mean? Cole's rubbing off because Cole sees. Listen, this is how they taught me in Houston, and how I became the pitcher that I am right now. So Cole's gonna give all this advice. He's gonna do what a good ace does. An ace to the staff always shares his jewels with his staff mates. When I see Jordan Montgomery, you know who I see? The stuff is a little less, but I see a young CC Sabathia. You know, not afraid to make any pitch and any count. CC loves him. CC's mentoring him like a little brother. Listen, you ever need anything, call me. You know what I mean? And C's always said that if he's right, Jordan Montgomery may be one of the best, most underrated pitchers in all of baseball. And
Yeah,
CC was right.
they got a good one,
CC was
man.
right.
They really do. I don't like
Right.
giving the Yankees credit, but they really got a good one with this Montgomery kid, man. That's not even, and that barely even registers
Right.
in the Yankee world, bro, because they got so many other good
Right.
things going on for them. Like I mean,
It's I gotta be honest with you. I didn't know how Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge were gonna come back this year off these injuries. First of all, Giancarlo looks like a different human being. Your man lost about 15
yeah, yeah,
pounds. He slimmed down. He's still a monster. He's still huge, but he looks more agile and fluid and just comfortable and doesn't look like he's robotic at the plate. Right now, it looks like everything is like in sync. His swing, his timing, his. I'll tell you something. You get those two monsters in the middle of the lineup doing what they've been doing right now. I don't know how you navigate this Yankee line. And I gotta be honest with you, they're not even the two best players in the Yankee line. The two best players in the Yankee lineup are DJ LeMahieu, who is rolling out of bed getting knocks like it's nothing. I had a brush with COVID. All right, I'm gonna go to start the season. I'm gonna hit 650. All right, cool. What? What? And I'm not one to advocate extending people or getting in anybody's pocket, but yo, give DJ LeMahieu a nice little 3 year. You know what I mean? Make sure he's wearing Yankee pinstripes so he doesn't want to wear them anymore. I'm just saying. That guy is a machine. Another 3 hit game yesterday.
Yeah, but
Another
LeMahieu's gonna
3 hit
get
game
paid
yesterday.
elsewhere. I think. I mean, unless the Yankees bring him back,
Nah, the
but
Yankees got to bring him back.
LeMahieu's gonna get a
He's
lot of
table
money.
setter. LeMahieu's the man, bro. And he's versatile. He can play different positions. Second, first, a little bit of third. DJ can do it all. And I got to tell you, I don't even think we've seen the best of Gleyber Torres yet. And that's a scary thought. Because Gleyber's having a quote-unquote bad start, and the Yankees are 5-1.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nah, but I mean, all that stuff gets lost, bro. Like, cause the Yankees are just rolling right now, man. Like,
I mean, it can't get lost if you're paying attention to it. Like, you realize how I realize how important a guy like Tyler Wade is. Tyler Wade, everybody, Tyler Wade, we could trade him. Tyler Wade, he's not important. Yo, versatility is everything, bro. The versatility that guy gives you on a nightly basis, coming on off the bench, steal bags. You know what you were talking about with Guillorme? That you wish the Mets would use Guillorme in that role? If the Mets had a Tyler Wade, the games would be easier to manage because he can come in off the bench and he can steal second. He can maybe steal third if you let him. And that's the versatility that you're talking about with your boys that I don't see with the Mets. There's no versatility on your roster. I like the Jimenez kid.
No, hold on though. But I didn't say like what's his face? Guillorme can steal bags. He can't steal bags. I just thought that they should pinch run him for Ramos in spots, but he can't steal bags for shit. He stole like one and he's not good, bro. That's no rate. I think he runs better than Ramos, but that says nothing. He's no weight.
Listen,
he ain't no weight at all.
I run better than Ramos, and I'm sitting in a chair.
Yeah,
all right?
But
so I think that's a fair point. But one last thing on the Yankees, though, and I gotta ask you this because you watch from afar. You're not a Yankee apologist by any stretch of the imagination. But would it be crazy for me to think about? I'm already looking at playoffs, trade deadline. I'm looking at a lot of different things already because that's just how my mind works. We're 5-1 right now. We're at the 5-1 mark of the regular season, 6 games in, and I'm already thinking, this Tommy Cain loss could be huge. So in the back of my head, I'm going, if the Blue Jays want to trade Ken Giles, I'd gladly take him for a year or half a year. I'd do that right now. If the Blue Jays told me Ken Giles is available and he's available to be traded, I will take Ken Giles, say thank you, and smile twice. I really would. And I'm thinking about that already. And we're 6 games into the regular season.
And giving up what kind of player for him though? Like who do you think would be able? Who would you have to give up? Do you think like to get Ken Giles?
Well, we'll start with. Listen, I love Esteban Fleurio. I think his potential is off the charts. That young center fielder, 23 years old, but I don't think he crashed the Yankee lineup. The Yankees outfield is ridiculously deep. So I'm not
nuts about Fleurio, but if you get him for Giles, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
I'd start with him. I'd probably go Kyle Holder. And maybe another piece, maybe another low level kid, and see if I can swipe Giles from the Blue Jays. That's what I do. Now, Ken Giles is just one name that I'm considering. I consider Joaquin Soria, pitcher for the Royals right now. If we could do that, I consider that. there's a myriad of options that I think about. And I know you're probably thinking, damn, it's 6 games. Why are you already thinking about trading for somebody? It's a 60 game season, like we said the other day, like we just said a couple minutes ago. It's 60 games. And so if you're really serious about winning a championship, this is when you gotta already start thinking about how do I make my team better. And that's how I would start by adding to the bullpen. And I know in hindsight, realistically, they don't need it. They don't need it. But you know how my mind works. I want to shore up the championship any way that I can.
Word up.
And you laugh. He laughs at me, folks. See that?
Nah, yeah, I think if you were to run the Yankees, bro, like I think Cashman could retire right now, bro, and that team would be in contention at least to get into the playoffs every year, if not more, bro. I think you would bring us to dominance or bring them to dominance.
Stop that.
Yeah, bro.
I I think differently, bro. That's the thing. Like listen. I'm gonna go back to your Jet point real quick because I think this needs to be said too.
Hey, I was just gonna say that too, bro. You have all this forward thinking with the Yankees and what's up with the Jets predicament?
Here's my thing with the New York Jets. My thing with the New York Jets is I would start from the back first. I would build the lines. I wouldn't worry about the quarter. Hey yo. I would start from the back first. I would build the lines. I would get everybody going. I would start offensive and defensive lines. That's what I really would do. I wouldn't worry about the quarterback, the running back, the wide receivers, because I feel like that's the last thing you do. Good football teams always do what? What do? The lines go first. Offensive line, defensive line, and then you worry about filling out the rest of the roster. Which is why if I'm the New York Jets, I like the approach that Joe Douglas is taking. Let's beef up the offensive line, the defensive line. Let's beef up the interior of our football team. And then we'll worry about getting weapons for Sam, making Sam feel like he's priority number one. Because Sam Darnold, you don't have to pay for at least another 3 seasons. So you can work around, you can put pieces around Sam Darnold while saving money. And the $35 million figure you threw out at me, I'm kind of baffled by that. Because honestly, I'm starting at $20 million and I'm going no higher than 25. You ain't worth $35 million. You ain't win no Super Bowls, though. Hail to the no. Nah, I'm out.
He's gonna be advocating for 30 plus, bro, at the very minimum.
Well, he can advocate on Mars because he ain't getting it in New York.
Nah, I feel the same way, bro. I mean, and I'm not knocking him, bro. I think he's a high quarterback. Like I like the fact that
look at what Dak is going through in Dallas. Dak wants like $40 million a year. Dallas is like, bump that. And that's a playoff caliber quarterback. And they're telling Dak, nah, we out. So you think Sam Darnold is gonna ask for $35 million? And I'm gonna look at
honestly, and let's talk the team building shit for a minute, bro. I would tell a play like how how players blow up a certain market, like strong safety, like when they overpaid Landon Collins and the Redskins for strong safety. And then the next dude thinks he's gonna get paid. Yo, I'd be like, yo, dead that, my man. If they blew up the market last year, I'm here to build it back, bro. I ain't paying you shit. Like I would like a lot of people were saying Jamal Adams to get 19 million or 18 million. I would have been like, yo, we're starting at 15, bro. But like and you're lucky if you get more than 15. Huh?
Listen, his total contract, I'm starting at like 12 million, and I'm like, I'm stopping at like 16. There's no way you're getting to 19 million, bro.
He's trying to get 20. They're saying he's trying to get a dub.
You for safety?
Take that and use that too now.
For safety. Nah, dog. Nah. Say his market. What's his man's? Who just signed a contract just now? Somebody signed a contract and went on.
The dude from the Bears?
He just signed a contract, and he only got like 14 and a half.
Yeah.
Where you getting 20 from, dog? You trying to break the market? Nah, I'm out.
For a safety
I'm
at
out.
that too, bro. It ain't happening.
You bugging.
Yeah,
You
but
bugging.
they made the right move in trading him, bro. Because
You
I don't
had
know.
to. He was blowing. He was gonna he was setting Florida Park on fire, dog. They had to call the New Jersey Fire Department on the dude for obsessive fire starting. What's wrong? Like, you had to trade the dude. He was
Yeah,
gonna
bro.
scorch your organization. He was scorching your organization. He told the GM, yo, take a long walk off a short period, dude. I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm out of here. But I'm gonna scorch earth on the way down. And then I love the whole pessimistic. Nah, but it's all love. It ain't nothing about the Jet fans. I love y'all. I just don't like the front office. What? Are you telling me it's all love and you killing my team on the way out? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
But I think they should. I think they should kick the can down the road in earnest. And
Here's the question: how many
I mean,
times?
and Lawrence isn't the only good quarterback in next year's draft. I like that kid out of the not the Ohio State kid, but there's another kid from one of these small schools that he looked pretty good. The kid that didn't throw an interception yet. I think he plays for North Dakota State actually.
Right.
The school.
Well, I haven't. Like I said, I haven't done any
Yeah,
much.
it's way
I haven't done
early.
much prep on college
it's way
football.
early in the process.
And just who knows if we're even going to get a college football this season this year to begin with all this going on right now. But I will tell you, if the Jets do take a quarterback, it just shows that either Joe Douglas doesn't believe in Donald as the quarterback, which is a fair assessment. But the second thing it shows is that they don't know what the hell they're doing in that building. They have no idea. Like Sam Darnold doesn't have enough he don't have enough pimples on him yet to say he's in manhood as a quarterback. Your man's still in puberty as an NFL quarterback. He don't know nothing yet. He's learning. So for you to say, "Oh no, he ain't gonna be nothing yet," you don't know what he's gonna be, and that's what I think. Sports in general, Joe. Let's move on to another sport. Let's talk basketball. We was talking about the other day when you said to me, "Yo, I don't know about Mitchell Robinson. I don't know about RJ." You're entitled to have that opinion, but the sample size is not big enough for me. Under a head coach that can coach, Tom Thibodeau can coach. Can he coach this group of players? That remains to be seen, but he can coach. And that's why I don't want to trade anybody yet. Let the roster be what the roster is going to be for the most part. Now, I'll tell you this. The whole Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony thing, I'm out.
That's Knicksian right there, bro. I could totally see that happening with the Knicks, and like people getting hyped up for 2 months of headlines in the off season.
You can't trade for a 35-year-old Chris Paul when Sam Presti's already shown you. Listen, I can fleece you blindfolded and do it twice again on Sunday. Sam Presti's not the dude I want to go to war with. Nah.
Yeah, bro.
Nah. Nope.
Nah,
look at what he did. Look at what he did to freaking Houston for Russell Westbrook. Nah, Sam Presti's not the one dude I want to go to war with, dog. He'll leave me bare talking about. I tried to tell you, dog. I'm not the one to negotiate with.
And he would probably get a better package than what they gave up.
Sam Presti? Sam Presti waiting on somebody. Sam Presti waiting on the call. We got a 212 area code. It's the New York Knicks. All right, let me fleece these young. I want 2 of your first round draft picks. I want Mitchell Robinson. I want a stake of Madison Square Garden, and I want 4 Knick City dances. And he could probably do it.
For starters.
Yo.
Dolan will be like sold on that. It won't even be Dolan on the call, and he'll jump onto the call somehow.
Nah, I'm out.
He'll have Comcast like splice the line or some shit. Yo, but let me move on to to close out. Let me move on to the New York Giants. I just want to give you a rapid fire scheduling questions, and just give me whether you think that the Giants are gonna win that game or lose that game for the 2020 schedule. I've reformulated my I think.
What you got on them, Joe? Before we go,
I'll do it with you because I want to I mean, looking from the outside, the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Giants are a 5-win team at best, bro.
I had them at 4-12.
Yeah, so we're right on cue. A lot of people like nine wins. Like, yeah, all right, bro.
Nah.
I don't know what
team
9
you wins from. Where?
Yo, the New York football fans are the most unreasonable motherfuckers in the world, bro. Like these dudes, like I don't know what they watch. What?
You know what it is, Joe? Full disclosure, I hate the radio. I hate everybody on radio. I hate WFAN. ESPN New York is listenable sometimes, but radio is what ruins it for me. Because this is what they do as radio hosts. They tell you, yo, I could see a way in which the Giants get to 9 wins, and here's how they do it. And they start painting all these scenarios in if Saquon has a year, if Daniel Jones turns into the next coming of Jesus Christ, if this one does this, if that one does this. Right. You just talking for ratings because you want people to listen to your show. In all actuality, you don't believe half the shit you talking about. You know, and I know, both New York football teams are headed for 3-13, 4-12 seasons. Can we stop with this garbage? Can we really stop? And I'm not trying to cast aspersions on the New York Giants because I could care less what they do. I don't care. They scarred me already. They made me hate them. So my hate for them has me not caring what they do. Here's the problem. The problem is you're going to tell me that with a young quarterback and a generational talent running back who you should trade, by the way. Yes, Giant fans, I said it. You should trade Saquon Barkley now.
I think so too.
Good.
Hell yeah, I would totally be down with trading Barkley, bro.
While the getting is good, you should get him on out of there. And I tell you exactly where you can send them too, because they'd be dangerous. Send Saquon Barkley. Send them directly to the San Francisco 49ers. Tell John Lynch, listen, we'll make it work. See what John Lynch will give you. Can you imagine Saquon Barkley and Jimmy Garoppolo and that squad in San Francisco? Can you imagine?
Yeah, but I don't think they'd give the draft currency for that would be required for
Oh my lord, bro. Listen.
What would you trade for what kind of package you want to get back for Barkley?
You use, you said. What kind of package
would you want to get back? What would you want to get back for Barkley? You being the Giants.
I probably want 2 first rounders and probably not consecutive first rounders. I'll take a first rounder in 21 and then a first rounder in 24 if I can squeeze that off. And probably like a 3rd rounder. So I want 3 picks.
I think the Giants are going to want more, but I think this would be the year to trade him, bro. If the Giants, Barkley's not going to be a dynamic player in 2 years, bro. I'm calling that right now. And they're going to want to pay him more than Zeke.
First of all, Zeke shouldn't have got that money to begin with.
Hell no. Yo, I agree, bro.
Jerry Jones was smoking that. He was smoking something when he gave Zeke that contract.
But do you think Barkley's going to get less than Zeke? There's no way.
He should. He ain't as good as Zeke right now.
He don't block better than Zeke, but he's better than Zeke.
Stay on the football field.
That's true. Yeah, you're right though. And Zeke is a dynamic blocker too. In addition to being
it's all good. My one quote: stay on the football field.
Give me a good 14 at least per year. Nah, but they're gonna
Now
overpay Barkley, bro.
you can't. How are you gonna pay over? What you gonna pay over? Why you gonna overpay a running back? For what? Running backs are dying, bro. NFL's a passing league. What are you overpaying them for? Stop. You're one
And I like
year
Barkley,
away
bro.
from it being a wrap.
I like
Yeah,
Barkley
I
too.
like Barkley, but Barkley in this system doesn't work.
Barkley in any
He,
system getting paid 90 million a year doesn't work anywhere, bro. I would
that
not pay a running back that kind of money, bro.
it's crazy, bro. That's like throwing good money after bad. That's exactly what that is, bro. You right now, if I'm Saquon Barkley, I want to get out of New York just because I want a chance to win a chip before my knees and my ankles just destroy themselves.
Yeah.
So where you got him at, bro? Let's run through this schedule real quick. What do you have him at?
All right, bro. So I'll tell you, like, and you tell me win or loss. They got the first game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's a national game. So I got that as a definite loss because the Giants can't win a national
Where's
game
that?
for shit.
Where's that in Pittsburgh? Or
Um,
they come in here?
Nah, it's at Giants Stadium. It makes no difference though. I mean, actually, when the
Yeah.
Giants play at home for these national games, because it's a Monday night game, they
And
usually
there's no
stink the place
fans.
up.
There's no fans, so it ain't gonna matter. All right, just because I'm feeling generous, I give the Giants a win on their first
What?
game out.
You
I'm
bugging, bro? A
feeling generous.
national game, bro, on Monday night. The
It don't
Giants
matter.
will never win this.
It don't matter. All right, I'm gonna give the Giants the win though. I'm gonna believe in them more than you right now. Go ahead.
All right. So then we got the Giants at Chicago the following week.
That's a loss.
We got the Giants at San Francisco. I'm not even gonna ask.
You know what?
That's a loss.
You already know. That's a loss.
Giants at Rams.
Giants and Rams could be a toss up, but I'm taking the Rams in the end.
I got the Rams too.
So 1-3.
At Dallas.
At Dallas, I'm taking the Cowboys. 1-4.
At home against Washington, I'll put that as a dub. What do you got?
I'm taking the Giants.
Actually, bro,
He's taking the
I'll put the
Skins.
Giants.
He's taking the Skins.
I'm taking the Skins at when we're at Skins though. So what about at Skins? Yeah,
Wow.
the Skins are better than the Redskins are better than the Giants, bro. As a team, not an organization, but as a team, Redskins are better than the Giants, bro.
You think so?
Next year they will be. Watch.
That Chase Young, Chase Young, I think that kid's gonna be a monster, bro.
Yeah.
I think Giant fans are gonna have nightmares about that dude for the next 10 years, easy, bro.
All right. So what do you got
Permitted?
Thursday night at Philly?
Oh, Philly blowing them out by like 4 touchdowns, easy, bro.
Yeah, I got that as a loss. At home against Tampa Bay, I got a loss. What do you got?
Tom Brady is gonna have the fieldest of field days against that Giants defensive secondary. So I got Tampa Bay scoring at least 50.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I got that as a loss too. At Redskins, I got that as a W. What do you want to put it as?
I'm taking the Redskins at home.
Okay, yeah, me too. At Cincinnati.
At Cincinnati, I'll go with the Giants. I'm telling you, they're gonna go they're going 4-12, though.
I got that one as a loss.
I got them at 4-12.
All right, so at Seattle, I'll put that as a loss for you too.
Come on, man, stop. At Seattle, they're gonna give up at least 60. Jamal Adams gonna have at least 3 pick sixes in that game, bro. 3.
Home against Arizona.
Yeah, home against Arizona. I'll give the Giants a dub. I'll give them a dub.
I got that as a loss.
You got that. You got that as a wait. You got that as a loss, Joe.
They're gonna carve up the Giants, bro. Arizona's a good team, man. The Giants aren't.
I don't know. I'm not a big believer in the Cardinals yet. I got to see more from the young boy.
He's good, bro. But let's go. What about your team? The at home against Cleveland.
Oh, you already know what I think about that. We getting 2 wins back to back in New York this season, bro. We killing the Jets, and next week we killing the Giants, bro. You already know how that go.
Okay, what about Baltimore? At Baltimore, I'm putting that as a
At
loss.
Baltimore, woo! Action Jackson about to put up at least 60 on y'all real quick.
Yeah, so that's a definite loss. And versus the Cowboys at home, I'm gonna put
I
that
think
as a big.
I think the Giants win that game. I think the Giants win because I don't think Dallas got nothing to play for. And y'all notorious for screwing up your draft stock, winning meaningless games in the last 2 weeks of the regular
Oh, that's
season.
true. That's true.
So just for brevity, we're gonna give the Giants the fourth win.
Damn.
Just
I'm
for
gonna give that.
brevity.
I'm gonna put a win there too, bro. I changed it.
For
So you got
brevity,
the Giants. So you got the Giants winning 4 or 5. No, I got the Giants winning 4, and you got them
4
winning
games.
5.
5? 5 and
Yeah.
11? I'm being all right. 5
Well,
and
remember
11. That's
you
about.
picked them to beat the Steelers game 1, bro. I don't think they're gonna beat the Steelers.
I mean, I just felt like being generous. Do they beat Pittsburgh? Probably not.
Yeah, so it's a definitive almost 4. You're swinging more towards 4 than 5. Like I got them at 4 wins too. Oh no, I had them at 5
Damn.
wins, but I'll change it to 4 on the spot.
4-12. Damn, dog.
Yeah, it could be worse than that. I think
What do
there's
you
a good
think
chance.
about Joe Judge? Let me ask you a question. What do you think about Joe Judge as a coach?
As a
Can I
coach,
ask you this?
what
Yeah.
I think that was a shitty ass selection, bro. I didn't want Joe Judge. I didn't want Joe
Who'd
Judge
you
for the
want?
world, huh?
Who'd you want? Who did you want?
I wanted the college coach from Baylor. It's Baylor, right?
Oh, you wanted Matt Rule?
I would have taken Matt Rule, bro. Matt Rule, like, we haven't had a coach like that, like young, enthusiastic, that players like
The
players would
Panthers.
want.
The Panthers gave him the bag. What they gave him, like 6 years at 7 years at 60 or some shit like that.
That's all good, bro. I
Yeah,
mean, why not?
they gave him the bag, bro.
I mean, as a team like Pittsburgh or the Giants, when you want to coach,
Right,
I don't mind. I don't trip when they pay him long term because they're not
right.
gonna fire him for at least 3 years, But Joe Judge, I mean, a lot of dudes are hyped about him. I don't know why. He's a wide receiver special team coach. Everybody from the Patriots coaching tree sucks. Like
Mm-hmm.
and Joe Judge, I mean, like,
Right.
I think Giant fans are terrible at judging these moves off the rip. Like they always have like ultra excitement for a lot of moves that the Giants make until like the season plays out. And these things get worse and worse. Every year the Giants do worse things, like with their drafting, with their roster makeup, with their thinking that Eli Manning could play another 2 years. Um, every year they act surprised when the Giants play like shit. Mind you,
All right.
I thought Daniel Jones was gonna suck, and they still play like shit. They still like were able to squeeze out only a few wins.
That's because there was nothing around Daniel Jones though. Like I've been saying about Sam.
Yeah, I think Daniel Jones played way above his what I expected, but the Giants are still trash though. Sold is a bum. Why
He
they gave?
opted out. He's not playing this shit.
Yeah, thankfully, and thankfully the Giants drafted Thomas, who I think should swing into the left tackle position off rip.
He got bad feet. He got bad feet. He's when
I
you watch
like
him
him,
on
bro.
film,
Like you said that last time. I like Thomas.
he's slow, bro. You look at him off the thing. I'm talking about off the snap. He may have the size to push you back, but when you a lineman, especially from the left tackle spot, because you got everything coming directly at you. You know what I'm saying? It's usually coming like you're coming this way. And I think his back pedal's a little bit too slow. But I could be wrong. Look, I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of Joe Judge. It's too much football leaves. Yeah, man, we're gonna play 60 minutes of hard-nosed Giant football. Like, bruh, have you been watching the Giants over the last couple of years? Have you been paying attention to the league? Nobody plays 60 minutes of smash mouth football. Everybody throws the ball all over the lot. It's a pretty game. Nobody's in the trenches no more battling for 60 minutes. This ain't 1980, dog. It's a different game. So when I hear you, and then hearing them say that, oh, we're not going to say the names of Saquon Barkley or Daniel Jones. Everybody got to earn a spot. Really? Really? So those two dudes got to earn spots. Really?
Yeah. No, but I like the Thomas pick, though. I mean, did you like the pick at the very least, or you would have went elsewhere?
I would have went elsewhere. I really don't think that that's a wise decision, simply because I think you have the versatility. He doesn't have the versatility that you need, and that's what I'm saying. I don't see versatility in his game. You could tell me better, Joe, but his. I want somebody that can play every position: center, right tackle, left tackle, because there's guys that do that. That they come out of college, and then they play for the most part. They play either the two corner spots, right tackle, left tackle, or you play inside, whether it's the right guard or left guard or the center position. I feel like he's gonna get stuck at left tackle, and he's gonna get exposed. Because number one, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think he's big enough, bro. What was his initial weight? 6'5", what? 315, 320?
I don't remember off the rip, but he doesn't seem small though. I mean, but I mean, I may be speaking out of my ass though. But I mean, I was like, all right, full disclosure, bro. I thought that Eric Flowers was gonna be the shit, bro. I love the shit out of Eric Flowers coming out of that 2013 draft. I thought he was gonna be the truth.
What made you think that though?
Well, I was fooled because that year Miami had a good tight end. I forgot his name, but he ended up going to the Raiders, and that tight end was the truth blocking, and they would always put him on the left side. So I saw Eric Flowers, even though he was getting help, but he was dominating a lot of games in Miami. I was just a fool, bro. I don't know what I was smoking. It was like probably the worst draft take I ever had in my life. Every other pick in that draft, with the exception of Dorial Green Beckham,
he's gonna admit that publicly on his own YouTube.
No, I'm not a bullshit dude, bro. Like I don't gotta be the smartest guy in the room. But the two picks that I had wrong in that draft were Dorial Green Beckham, who ended up going to the second round, so I'm not tripping, and Eric Flowers. I was dead wrong. But the rest of that draft, I was 100% right. I had the same feeling of Andrew Thomas. I mean, but then he gets put in the same circumstances as Eric Flowers. You got a left tackle that gets put out, and now they're gonna slide him into left tackle in his rookie year. So who knows? I mean, I think a lot of what you're saying, it could ring true in all this.
And I hope not.
I don't hope so either, man. Like, I love the Giants. I love the Jets.
Nah, you can't love both, man. You either gotta love one or the other. You can't love both, bro.
The football season's too short,
that's some fraudulent shit, Joe. I gotta call you out on your own channel.
Yeah,
you can't love both, bro. That's like saying I love chocolate and vanilla ice cream. Nah, nigga, we fat. We gotta love one or the other. You can't be. It's a very.
No, I get a lot of shit for that, but I love both the teams. I've always loved both the teams. I actually loved the Jets before the Giants, to be frank.
So it's true color. So you really riding with the gangrene boys?
No, I saw the Giants win 3 championships. And thankfully my son likes the Jets, but he loves the Giants. And I'm glad I did that right with him, because I would have cursed him being a Jet fan and a Met fan.
Listen,
and a Ranger fan.
And a Knick fan. What are you doing to your poor kid?
Oh, that was my son's first favorite team too, the Knicks, bro. My son used to love the Knicks. Like, that was how he got into sports, the Knicks. Thankfully, he don't watch basketball that much.
What are you doing to your kids, man? What's going on? You need Uncle Stephen to come through and teach these kids something about some good sports, bro? Come on, man. What are you doing?
It's my one failure as a father, bro. Oh, my biggest failure as a father.
Yo,
Yeah,
and you
bro.
know what's crazy? We were talking about this, like we joke about it, me and the boys sometimes. It's like, yo, if I have kids, I don't want to be the reason why they suffer as sports fans. Like, I don't want to be that guy that says, "Oh, you got to be a Jet fan because we've been Jet fans for years." I'm thinking about the kid's future and the sanity of his health. Like, why would I put you through that? That's not fair to you. You don't deserve that. They suck
Fuck that.
because
I mean, I could live with him being any other fan, but the thing is, I'm not gonna have no Yankee fans in this fucking house, bro. Like, dead ass, bro. Like, we ain't. You could be my son loves Pittsburgh too, the Steelers, but I'm not gonna have no Yankee fans in this Met house, bro. This is a Met house, bar none. Period, bro. Get out of the house with this bullshit, bro. Like, Mets all the way, bro. Like, that's my one legacy. I don't care if the Mets stink. Sorry for my son. If my son would
I
have liked the
respect
Yankees,
it.
bro, that I would have been
He would
so
have
butthurt.
you'd have disowned him. You'd have been a
Yeah,
rat.
maybe. Who knows where that goes, bro? Yo, but
Yo, your camera's out. You know that, right?
yeah. Nah, I did it on purpose because I gotta use the facility, the bathroom. But yo, could you
For the
cook on some round
facilities.
robin? Anything you know about the baseball? Like,
Um. Well, the
I'm gonna
season's
put the
about to be
camera, the
over.
mic on mute too. But could you cook on that for a little while before we break out?
I got you.
And also
Well,
speak about like the season standing as far as this COVID-19 or the Ronies.
something just came out while I was on. While I've been on the air with you. So the Cardinals have uh two additional tests as from the test they took yesterday. So that's three additional that's four additional tests. Now one was a player and three were staffers. So that's six tests that the Cardinals have. And one of the players, um, two of them are pitchers. I won't report who the two are because I don't think it's a dereliction of duty on my part to say who these two starters are. I don't think that's necessarily fair. To say, hey, we should be doing this or we should be outing these particular players. I don't think that's a fair choice. However, I will say this for point of context. That's two outbreaks, not as significant as the Marlins outbreak, but it's two outbreaks now. And now we're talking about two guys and two teams that may delay four more or five more teams from playing because of this COVID outbreak. Now, what does this mean for baseball? We've had several people say that they don't believe that this season is going to get to the postseason, let alone the next 2 weeks. I've had different people come up to me and say, "Listen, don't be surprised if baseball doesn't get through the next week." Because how are you getting through all this? How are you making sure that your testing is all the way 100% on point? And here's the other thing. If the Cardinals got it in when they were in Minnesota, who knows what's going to happen in the Minnesota Cleveland series because the Indians are in Minnesota right now. Do we get positive tests on the Indian side? What does that do for the Indians? The Phillies just got back to working out today. They're in Citizens Bank Park in small groups working out today for the first time in a week. So 20% of your schedule right now is not being played. So unless there's some miracle formula that they're working out, I don't see it. And the 7 inning doubleheaders, I'm all for if you can manage them right and if you can work it right. I'm all for that. You don't want players at the yard for 6-7 hours expending energy when it's a 60-game season and you got to protect the integrity and the health of the game. But that also seems kind of hogwash too, because what integrity do we have left? You have a whole team basically with a COVID outbreak. The Cardinals, you don't know how deep this thing goes. There could be new COVID results coming out with them any minute now. So this just seems very, 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 very tough. I don't know how we get through a season, man. I don't know how we do it. I know that they discussed the bubble concept previously, but it just doesn't seem feasible, man. And then look, the teams that were supposed to be dominating are dominating. So this is what it boils down to. So we're gonna get a 16-team playoff. Are these games really going to be all that interesting if half the team has COVID and nobody really wants to be out here playing?
Yo,
Mike
so let
Trout
me
just
ask
had a
you, Steph.
baby.
Let me ask you, Steph. As far as with the Cardinals go, like with this little mini outbreak that's happening, you think?
Mhm.
Because I've subscribed to the notion that they could potentially dead a team from playing due to health concerns and to try to keep the season
Well,
going.
if
You think that?
that's the
Well,
case,
not
then
but real quick though. But
the
you think if they do that to the Cardinals, you think that's an indicator that we're having no season? I think the Marlins you could live with. I think the Cardinals not so much.
if you do that to the Cardinals, because that's one of your historic franchises in baseball, you might as well wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. St. Louis is marquee.
Yeah. To me, it wouldn't even take a St. Louis, to be honest. Like, it would just take anything above the Marlins. Like, honestly,
Bro,
we're lucky it
think
happened
about
more.
this, bro. The Phillies. If
Yep.
you tell me that the Phillies go through a breakout, Philly Northeast gonna get revenue. People love the Phillies. My homegirl Kayla's dying, diehard Philly fan. She's going through withdrawal. She haven't watched the Phillies in 10 days. If you take the Phillies out of the equation, cancel the season. Just kill it off the top. Like, I'm done
Word
with
up.
this. It's all patchwork. And then they're saying, oh, but we could go by winning percentage like they did in 81. Really? Really? Come
What they do
on,
in
dog.
81?
Well, in 81, it was a strike. So they had two halves. And they had the first half and then they had the second half. And they split the season into two different seasons. And so the second half is what counted towards the playoffs. And it
I
went by
see.
winning percentage.
Yeah. I mean, anything that keeps it going, I'm with it. But taking
But
a team out
nah,
of it,
dog. It's here's the thing though. You keep going and the infection rate's gonna keep rising because you get on a plane and you traveling. That's the thing. We're
I
gonna
can live
keep
with
going
that.
from city to city
I
to
can live
city.
with that. It ain't me.
Nah.
I'm good, bro.
See that? See that
Keep
ain't
me
him.
keep me entertained, and I'm with it, bro. Like,
Nah. See, that's it's hard for me to do that because it's like I love the game, but in good conscience, if that was one of my sons or my grandkids that was on these planes playing baseball. Now, let me not play victim for the players because they knew what they were signing up for when they signed up. You knew this was a thing. You knew there was a chance that this could happen. So let me not play victim for the players because the players are big boys and they're making millions of dollars. But like, if you got 18 dudes that are breaking out with coronavirus and it's an outbreak where you can't contain it, you're putting the rest of the sport in peril. And think about this, dog. Now you're telling the Phillies you got to play at least 4 doubleheaders to get to 60 games. For at least 4, right? 4 doubleheaders. Do you know how many more arm injuries that is? Do you know how many pulled groins that is? Do you know how many hamstring pulls that is? That's you're putting players at risk, bro. For
yeah,
what?
but you're missing a good portion of that sentence. It's like, you know how many injuries that is for the Phillies. I'm with it, bro. Anything to make the season carry on, so long as it doesn't long term affect the Mets and keeps me entertained. Sign
See,
me up, bro.
you see how selfish he is, people. You see that? You see, as long as his Mets can keep losing, he's happy.
I gotta see what's up with my team, bro.
That's some selfish stuff, man. You're like, nah, I don't care about the injuries, dog. As long as the Mets can go 10-50, we happy out here. Let's go.
Yo, I was gonna ask you, are there any teams that you weren't expecting to surprise you this year that have played above
San
what
Diego.
you expected, and in addition to teams that you thought that
San Diego.
were gonna be beasts and that so far look shitty?
San Diego and Cincinnati.
As far as
San
the
Diego,
team,
yeah. San Diego looks like they're about to, yo, they're serious, bro.
you've
Padre,
been saying San
yo.
Diego for a few years too.
Padre, yo. San Diego is no joke. And the Reds right now, the Reds are basura. They're horrid right now.
I thought the Mets were gonna beat
They're,
the Reds were gonna beast this year too, man.
I did too. I had the Reds as my World Series pick. I still do because I think they can turn around. They got too much talent to be this bad. But San Diego, yo, oh my God, that lineup: Tommy Pham, Manny Machado, Eric Hosmer, Jerickson Profar. Yeah, that lineup is no joke, bro. That lineup is no joke. And I gotta tell you something right now. People laugh at me when I said this. The Tampa Bay Rays. He's like, oh, I don't see nobody beating the Yankees. Just do me a favor. Watch out for Tampa. Because that's who I got going to the World Series. Is the Rays.
Yeah, the
Tampa's no joke. And they're deep. They're no joke.
I got a few comments on Facebook. My Dunny Mac Sofritz Al Valdez, who I want to have on the show sometime too. He said for the players, you get paid millions. This is the name of the game. If you as a player are afraid of injuries, then stay the fuck home.
That's
My
accurate.
other brother,
That's accurate. I'm not mad at it.
my other brother Guillory said San Diego won't get over the hump if they run the same offense they run during the season.
I think the problem is with San Diego is their bullpen is a question mark right now. Outside of Kirby Yates, who's the closer, San Diego's bullpen's a mile a minute. That's like an adventure waiting to like explode. So unless the offense keeps carrying them, they're gonna have a tough time sustaining this. Where Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati's lineup finds itself, it fixes itself. I like the rotation that they have, and I like the bullpen. The one team that I'm kind of surprised by that they've gotten off to this kind of start, believe it or not, and I know it's only a couple games, but the Washington Nationals, they don't look very good. And I guess, listen, Juan Soto hasn't been in the lineup, but you look at the Nationals and you're like, you guys look vulnerable. I don't know if it's the World Series hangover, but they just don't look like the same team. They're older up the middle. They're older up the middle with Cabrera and with Castro. They're not. Carter Keyboom is okay. I think he gets a little bit too much love. I don't see superstardom all over him. I will be honest and say that. Look, to be honest and to be fair, the three teams that I'm scared of, deathly afraid of in baseball right now, I'll go four. I'm gonna go Tampa. I'm gonna go Cincinnati. If they can right the ship, I'm still scared of them because that pitching is no joke. I'm gonna go. Here's an interesting one, Joe. You're gonna look at me like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm gonna tell you, in a 60-game shortened season, the Cleveland Indians could wreck somebody's life.
Of course they could, bro. Cleveland is a good team. Yo, let me give you my teams as far as the surprise that they're doing good.
What you got?
Well, actually, I got two. I got the White Sox. I got to go with two AL Central. White Sox. Actually, no, the White Sox I thought would play better. But I thought the Nationals would play better too. But my surprise team thus far, I mean, and every game that I've watched them, they don't look like they're beasting, but I didn't anticipate them to have 5 wins already is the Tigers. I think they lost yesterday, though, if I'm correct. But the Tigers to go 5-3.
Holding the.
What's that?
Ken Rosenthal just reporting right now. Lorenzo Cain has opted out for the Milwaukee Brewers. This is breaking. This just came out right now. Lorenzo Cain has just opted out for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
So that's not good. The Yankees Philly series that was supposed to start Monday at Yankee Stadium. The first game of that series has already been postponed, and that's not even on the actual schedule. Wow. Yeah. So yeah. In other words,
the Brewers are gonna suffer too, man, because they like Chicago doesn't look like they're knocking it out of the park this year, and they're right behind them too. And the Brewers have been looking like shit too.
The Cubs' offense is no joke.
Yeah,
that offense is no joke. But the problem is with the Cubs, pitching and bullpen, bro. Pitching and bullpen.
The Brewers are not a bad team, bro. The Brewers had dog in them last year, but they haven't looked good this year though.
That's
But
because
I thought
they're not the same team. Mustakis is in Cincinnati.
you're right.
Cain just opted out. You know what I mean? Ryan Braun is another year older. I mean, they're not the same team. So this is yo. I just listen for brevity purposes. Do I want 60 games? Yeah, I want 60 games. But is it gonna happen? Probably not. Listen, the season's not gonna. The season's gonna be. Listen, if you want me to make a bold prediction right here, the next time we do one of these in a couple of days, you're gonna see more teams realize, this just ain't worth it. Let's just go home. It's not worth it. Because these guys got families, these guys got kids, you know what I mean? It's different than I know we were joking about the hamstring pulls and all this, and I agree with you. You know what you signing up for in terms of playing. But when you got a wife and kids, and you know, Joe, you're a father, man. You don't want to bring nothing back to your kids that could have been avoided if you could have just stayed home and just been with the wife and been with the kids. And you know what I mean, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it, especially when some of these are newborns. Like Mike Trout's wife just gave birth like yesterday. Garrett Cole his wife just had a baby couple like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. It's not worth it, bro. It's really not worth it.
Yeah, bro, I think that's a good time to shut it down, bro. Like we've been on for a little bit over an hour and 36 minutes.
I gotta run too. I got.
Yeah, could you give the people some last words and like please let them know where they can find you, like to get these baseball scoops that only you have.
Oh, stop. You can find me at Stephen Martinez on Facebook, Stephen Martinez 300 on Instagram, and Stephen 3CM on Twitter. And my parting shot would be probably, listen, just enjoy sports while you can. Just enjoy what you're watching. Because a couple months ago, we didn't think we were going to get to this point. So the fact that the NBA is back and baseball's trying to work its way through this pandemic, and you got hockey officially starts today. Just enjoy it, man. Just be like a fat kid in a candy store. Just enjoy all of it that you can, because you don't know how long it's gonna last, especially with baseball. I think the two bubble environments in hockey and the NBA work great, but just enjoy sports, man. It's great to have it back, and I'm great to be reporting on actual sports stuff rather than just who got COVID and who does. So,
word up. And if you're watching on Facebook, please go over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Don't be a grindball. My channel is L Foul Player. That's the word L, like Spanish for the, and then foul player, one word.
El Foul Player.
Yeah. If you're listening on YouTube, do the same too. Hit that red button and subscribe. And with that, I'm out. Thanks for stepping into the Foul Play Land with your boy. Peace.